Hey, it's Dr. Kimberly Ellison, and I am excited. You all, hopefully you've heard about our launch for Promise Volume 2, the ReUP, Refocus, Refuel, and Rebuild. This is going to be amazing. I'll tell you, this is an anthology opportunity, an anthology devotional in which you will have the opportunity to partner with women around the world to share post-pandemic manifestations of God's promises revealed and that has been fulfilled in your life. Y'all, we're not the same. You know, I know many of us have experienced change, transformation, and even triumph in the middle of the pandemic. And post-pandemic, we have experienced a fatigue like never before. We've experienced a lack of focus and lack of clarity. Some of us have, we've lost loved ones, and some of us have lost our identity, and we're going through a grief or a grieving process. And I think the challenge is oftentimes we see grief as death, but grief can come in forms of what we grieve that we think we lost from our past or things that no longer exist for us. Grief can also come in the form of a job or a career or passions that we no longer have or things that no longer serve us. And so for the ReUP, many women went through this major life transition, and we don't understand who we are post-pandemic. Or should I say, we did not understand. And as we go through this journey, we are now having this experience where we are coming into a full manifestation of who we are post-pandemic. And what does life for this woman look like? The life she had to fight for, the depression she had to enter into counseling and see a therapist and pray and enter into a place that she'd never gone before. I experienced a wilderness. And I was in a wilderness experience. And from that wilderness, I didn't know, I knew I was going to be okay in the journey, but I didn't know about how I was going to get through this wilderness experience. And for many of us, I did experience loss of my mother. I also experienced loss of location. We moved in the middle of a pandemic. I also experienced some identity crisis as it relates to this woman that I'd become and developed into with my mom in the earth. And who am I with her no longer here? And that was very difficult. And it challenged me in business as well, because I always was able to have, that connection, that relationship, that covering, and things changed and shifted in my business. So there's just truly been a transition, and through that, what was breaking became breakthrough to this new person, and the pandemic actually became the birthing room of God's manifested promises in my life. And so I'm different. Things are different. And I know many of you, if you can relate, things are different for you. The pandemic didn't just change me. It changed all of us. It changed the way we do life together, the way we worship, the way we conduct business. It changed the way we go pump gas. Like, it changed every part of our existence. And so the ReUP is about the woman, who had to find a way to refocus and refuel and rebuild. And when you refocus, that means you have to really tune in really tightly to what's in front of you. You have to gain clarity as you journey through. And so some of us actually refocused and we birthed things that we didn't even know existed. Some of us took things off the shelf of our life and began to walk a journey as a new person. And so I just want to say some of the challenges in the ReUP was not to give up. That was the number one thing, is not to give up. Another thing was for us during this pandemic and even post-pandemic is to, one, not to give up, and two, how do we now show up and become this new person with these, where we have responsibilities that we didn't raise our hand for, but life actually handed it to us. You know, we didn't raise our hand and say, hey, I want to, you know, lose my mom. I want to lose my job. I want to go through a divorce. Hey, pick me. I want to go through a life-changing situation, right? You didn't raise your hand, but life handed it to you. And so you had to find a way to come through that with the grit and grace. And so that's more so about the ReUP, and why we're doing this is so that women can know that their journey is not over. It is different. You're new. It's a rebirth. It's a time to reload and refocus, refuel, to go back and gain the energy, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual that you need, but also rebuild. Take the pieces that are remaining, and those pieces that remain, and continue to build through this great potential that the pandemic and post-pandemic situations have exposed to you. And we're going to do this journey in a way where we are talking about grit and grace. It was grimy. It wasn't pretty. You know, we may have put the makeup on. We may have showed up in a different way, but this, in order for us to re-up, we had to do things differently. And we want to have you share your story with us. Join this community of women, the daughters of promise, who still experience the manifestation. It may not be the way we thought, and it may not be the way we thought it was going to be. I can't wait to come back on and share more about the journey to the ReUP for me, and how I was able to, I felt blind. I don't know if you've ever felt blind on your journey, but I literally, not the normal blind, like where you are, wow, you have a concept and you say, well, God, I don't know how this concept's going to manifest. And you go through that blind phase, right? I literally felt blind, where I couldn't even see me. I would look in the mirror and I couldn't even see my reflection and recognize who I was, because of all of the challenges and the changes and the transformation that was taking place. And it wasn't all bad. Some of it was amazing, you know, and in that I still wasn't able to recognize myself on this journey. And so to be a part of the ReUP, where I had to go back and refocus, refuel in order to rebuild, man, I can't wait for you to go on this journey with me. I hope you join us. Go to our website, sparklepublishing.net/promise, the ReUP. I can't wait for you to join me on this journey with amazing women around the world. We're telling our stories, and we want you to be a part of that journey. All righty, I'm Dr. Kimberly Ellison, and I look forward to taking this journey with you. Join us. Tell your girls to pull up.